everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my completely spontaneous live stream here. So, um, I just want to start off because watching Nate's live stream, and Nate, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Um, just watching his video tonight talking about what I'm thankful for. I just want to start off this live stream tonight thanking you guys for all of your support. Hi, Lillian. Thank you for tuning in. Um, it's just mind boggling to me that not too long ago I was at 200 subscribers. And then I was at 250. Now I'm at 300. Now I'm going 325. It's just climbing so fast, and it just absolutely blows my mind. And with that, um, as I kind of mentioned in Nate's live stream, is uh, basically my new year, 2022. Yep, I am insanely young, Lucky. Um, I got out and did the nomad lifestyle pretty young. Um, and just that's kind of also I'll go into why I changed my name in a little bit, and that's kind of where that came from as well. Thank you, Lillian. I actually have let's see. So this painting behind me here, I got this from uh Goodwill. We were doing Highway 395 in California, and that's where Yosemite National Park is. Unfortunately, we could not go to the national park at the time, but as we were driving through the valley, there were mountains to our right and our left, and a free camping spot that had a river running through it. I absolutely loved it. We couldn't stay there due to no service within the mountains, but I saw this at the Goodwill shortly after stopping there, and I had to buy it because it reminded me of that absolutely gorgeous spot. And then I do have this, and this really means a lot to me. Robin Williams is personally one of my favorite actors of all time. I feel like today's kids will never understand. Um, just they're missing out on so much. And my father actually got this autograph before I was even born. And I always joked that one day I needed to have that autograph. So upon returning home this summer, he told me to come over, and he ended up giving it to me. So this really means a lot to me as well. Kobe, is that the one that showed me the way up to Lone Tree? Yep, I did show Nate how to climb up to Lone Tree. And when I go my vacation here, I am going down to Lake Havasu on Saturday night, Sunday. I plan on climbing Lone Tree at some point because that is one of my favorite spots to still hike and watch the sunrise and sunset. Um, but outside of that too, I want to thank Nate too. I've talked about it a little bit in his live stream as well with um, just seeing his live streams. Since I'm a little more bunkered down with this job, I tend to get some itchy boots. And being able to see Nate's or some other of your guys' videos, it really cheers me up. And it's just amazing to see everybody getting out and seeing these amazing, beautiful places. Nice to meet you guys as well. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate all of you tuning in tonight. Let me see. I just saw a comment from Nate. It's such a secret, slightly dangerous trail, but beautiful at the top. When my aunt actually went out last year, her and my cousin tried to climb Lone Tree, and she sent me a picture of her at the base of the mountain with her hand on the ground, just laying on the ground, collapsed. And she's like, "How did you do this?" And I am going to be going out with her this time, so I'm going to see if I could bring her up to the top. I'm not really sure how she feels about that, but we'll see what we can do here. And yes, Nate, thank you. I'm still learning how to do these live streams, but if you guys can please give me a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. Um, Unfortunately, I cannot do like he does on his streams, as Rocky has been boarded for the vacation here. And that was, excuse my language here, but to say dropping him off at the boarding location yesterday was anything short of a shit show is the understatement of the century. I dropped Rocky off yesterday at a boarding place called Joy Spring here in Ironwood, Michigan. And I have to tell you guys the name of this place because just talking to other boarding places and my vet, they really should not be allowed to be boarding dogs at all. It's okay, Lillian. Thank you for tuning in. You have a great rest of your night and a great Thanksgiving. And Lone Tree Trail, for those who don't know, is in Lake Havasu. It's actually on the northern side of Lake Havasu. There's a BLM campground that is called Lone Tree. And there's a mountain there. And at about halfway up the mountain is, well, a lone tree. And that's where the name of the campground came. So that's Paula, I too very, very, very nervous, especially with Rocky having separation anxiety in the past, having a man that abused him. I was very, very nervous about this, and yesterday did not help at all. I dropped him off in the morning, and what ended up happening is as soon as I walked through the door, the wife started giving me an attitude. Now, German Shepherds are prone to hip problems and joint problems in old age. And while Rocky is 3.5 years old, and I got him when he was 2, he's still young. I'm trying to do everything in my power to make sure he's alive for as long as he can be and has the best life he can. So I got a tray that holds his water and food dishes off of the floor. That way he doesn't have to bend down so far. I ended up bringing this tray into the boarding place, and the woman quickly said, "You do not need to have that here. You need to do deeper research into that. Many people think those are good, but it really does nothing. Do some deeper research." But what do I know? I'm not a vet. And that's the attitude that she was just giving me through the entire thing. Rocky is my dog. I have a couple short clips from last week. He is a German Shepherd, a male German Shepherd. He is not neutered. He is about 3.5 years old. And that's how it started off. Now, I've talked about this in previous videos too. Since Rocky has been abused by a male in the past, he's a little iffy with men. I've trained him and he's gotten better, but whenever I want to introduce him to a male, I want to take it slow and steady. And like with my uncle and whatnot, I usually have them give them treats and stuff like that to just kind of ease them into it. This guy, the husband who also ran the boarding location, bent down, got right in Rocky's face, and he had his muzzle on. I always have Rocky wear the muzzle when he goes outside because I don't want a kid to walk around the corner and startle Rocky and then he just automatically bites or something like that. It's a small safety precaution that doesn't really hurt Rocky at all. And what ended up happening is the man got down and instead of unclipping it, he just ripped it right off of Rocky's face. And I'm kind of like, okay, you're ballsy. Rocky's being really good right now, but I'm already starting to get really, really nervous about how they're handling him. The guy took the middle of the leash and dragged both me and Rocky into the kennel and then shut the kennel on Rocky. And then he was taking his finger and poking it through the kennel and poking Rocky in the nose repeatedly. And then he was taking his finger and kind of curving it like this and like wiggling it underneath Rocky's lip, like messing with his mouth. Rocky started to growl, and both the husband and wife quickly yelled at him and said, "No growling." Like, what are you guys doing? Anyone who knows animals should know better to be doing that, especially someone who is boarding a boarding location. That is completely unacceptable. And I would have taken my dog back and said, no thanks. I felt that way. But here's the catch. Over the past month, I have reached out to every single boarding place within 2 hours of my location. I could not find anyone besides these people that would take him for this vacation. So yesterday, I'm looking at this and I have over $1,000 in this vacation. If I cancel, I'm kissing that money goodbye. I'm not going on vacation. Can't have a friend take them, can't have family take them. So I'd have to cancel. And I'm sitting there like, I really don't want Rocky to go through this though, because I'm getting very, very bad vibes off of that. I don't trust these people. And I called up my mom and I told her the situation. Her, me, and my stepdad started calling every single boarding place within 2 hours of us. We started calling every single person who has done boarding before, and we started digging into people. We found a boarding place 2 hours away, and I called them and told them I just did not trust where he was at right now. If they would please be willing to work with me in any way, shape, or form, I would greatly appreciate it. Even though it was outside of their office hours, they called me back within 5 minutes. And the first thing they said when I answered, they apologized for how the boarding place was treating me and said that there's no reason why any boarding place should make an owner feel like they can't trust them. I explained all of this stuff to them, and as all of you are saying, I would have taken the puppy and got out of there. And as well as reporting, I'm kind of looking into that a little bit myself because this is just completely unacceptable in my book. I messaged them back and I told them what I ended up saying is my vacation fell through. So I don't need you guys to watch Rocky. Can I please come pick him up and you guys can just keep the $35 for the day? And I'm thinking, I don't care. Keep the money. I just want my dog out of there as soon as possible. She messaged me back. You can pick him up between 4 or 6 because that's the normal time. Or I will make an exception this one time as someone's coming to drop off a dog at noon, but you have to be here at 11:45. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman and her attitude. So I went and got my sister because I'm like, I need someone to come with me right now. Rocky is my child, and I am losing all patience. And for anyone who knows me, I am a very, very patient person, but my patience was out the window at this point. It was gone, it was non existent. I went with her and we turn on the road that the boarding location is on. Their yard was not plowed at all. They say that they let the dogs run outside and stuff. There was nowhere for them to do that. There was nowhere for them to even go to the bathroom. When I turned on the road that they were on, the husband had Rocky on a leash in the middle of the road, walking him in the middle of the road, trying to get him to go to the bathroom. And then I looked at my sister, and she's in the passenger seat. And I said, did you just see that? Please tell me I did not just see that. Please tell me I'm wrong. And she said, no, you're correct. There was a second dog who was running completely off leash, just running free in the middle of the road. I was livid. I quickly got out. I grabbed my paperwork, got Rocky in my vehicle, and as we're putting Rocky in the vehicle, the wife's yelling, "Make sure you take it off, take it off, take it off." And I'm like, "Take it off? What are they talking about?" Her husband walks over to her and they whispered, and I overheard them say this. She whispered to her husband, "Did you take the pinching choke collar off? I know you had the choke collar on him earlier." Excuse me? You want to talk about livid? If I wasn't livid already, oh my God. They never asked, they never told me, they just waited until I left and they put a pinching choke collar on him. I was furious. So that is how my day yesterday started. Today we went to, yes, Lucky, I did hit the roof. I had to do room checks afterwards here in the dorms, and people were like joking and like hiding because they were like, "Oh my God, Colby's angry. He has no patience. Everybody just leave him alone. Do not, he's gonna lose it." And I was so fed up. But we did exactly. How is that place still in business? I dropped him off at a boarding place today. These people are absolutely amazing already. They are just going out of their way to make sure that he's doing phenomenal. Um, Rocky didn't even want to say goodbye to me. And then I gave him a little bit of a hard time. I was like, fine, I'll just leave then. Because I know you're going to, when I come back, you're going to give me the silent treatment for 3 days. And when I said that and turned around to walk away, Rocky came running over to me and he started kissing me and everything. But then they brought him back to the kennel and he wasn't phased by the other dogs at all. Everything just phenomenal. A big, very big weight off of my chest. But just dealing with them yesterday, it's exactly like, how are they still in business? And just mind-boggling. Dogs running free in the middle of the road. It's I never, ever, ever, ever again. Um, Outside of that, though, I know a lot of you were asking about my name change. What is my name change here? And I actually have a new website. I will share my screen with you guys right now. I've kind of been showing this here and there. I know Debbie already saw it. So I do have a new website under my new name, Livin' the Dream. And this is the front page here, but I'm just going to bring you guys over and I'm going to kind of read off of this. Excuse me, I'm using a little bit of a cheat sheet tonight. I have been running since 6 o'clock this morning and I am on shift until midnight tonight, so I am exhausted. So the short version, I'm not going to read it word for word here. But basically, I was trying to think of a new name for a couple months now. Kobe's Travels, while it's unique because of my name specifically, like, yes, my channel's about traveling, but it's so much more than that. As Land Cloud Adventures, as Nate has said, when he saw my bus, one of the things that caught his eye was that I had a flag that said "Seek Discomfort." I'm not always talking about just traveling. I understand that there's going to be people who don't love the nomad experience. There's even going to be people that don't like traveling. I completely understand that, but I just want to inspire people to get out and live their best life. And I want them to just live life to the fullest because tomorrow's never guaranteed. Talking about family and everything, like, that's, you gotta hug your loved ones. That's just this kind of stuff. I preach it and I live by it, and it's so much more than just traveling. So I wanted to change the name. I felt like Kobe's Travels just didn't fit right, and I couldn't think of anything for the longest of times. And one day I was walking down the hallway in the college, and someone asked me, "How's it going?" And every time someone asks me that question, I instinctively say, living the dream. Well, that whole thing started off because my father used to say it a lot. He used to always say it sarcastically, basically. He used to say that he was living the dream because it was almost like, hey, I'm surviving. And surviving isn't really living. So he sarcastically said it. It was like a negative thing. And I'm kind of bringing it full circle, and I'm taking something that's been in my family because my family for generations has joked that if we didn't have bad luck, we wouldn't have luck at all. So living the dream as something sarcastic and negative, really, it's coming full circle, and I'm turning it into something positive. Along with that, instead of living, ing, I put live in because, again, not everyone wants to be a nomad. Maybe not everybody wants to travel, but I want you to live in your dream. What is your dreams? I want you to live those dreams. Skydiving, watching the northern lights, that's something I still want to do. Live in your dream, make the most of every single day. And then also, duh, DA, that is a funny twist because of THE. Duh is kind of the Yooper accent. So it gives a root and a connection to where I was born and raised. And I wanted that representation in there because those who have seen, like Nate was saying, Upper Michigan, he saw it. Those who have been up here, a lot of people are just absolutely blown away with how beautiful it is. And while I want to get out, and yes, I don't like the winters right now and stuff like that, it is amazing. The nature up here is breathtaking. It is some of the most beautiful views I have seen traveling the country. So the just kind of bring all of that stuff, the family, turning it into positive, the Yooper accent in there, living in your dream. It wraps everything perfectly into it. I can't wait to see the Northern Lights. I gotta see them at some point. I absolutely need to. I have been into outer space my entire life, and I still can't believe I haven't seen them yet. But yes, that is the meaning behind the new name. And I didn't talk about this in my live stream yesterday. I have been doing a lot of live streams over the last month, and I'm not really used to the live streams. So, talking for an hour, I'm kind of like, I don't know what to talk about. I'm running out of things to do. It's new to me. But the reason I decided to do this is because it's also giving me more flexibility with another project since I'm not editing a 10 to 15-minute video every single week. And right now, I am working on basically a short documentary. It is about, I'm hoping like a 20-minute documentary. Maybe that's too long. I'm not sure quite yet. But I want a documentary that goes alongside my discomfort book, the Discomfort Key to Your Best Life. I want to kind of create a small documentary about that and also a recap because, like I said, my new year started off with a nomad's worst dream. Or worst nightmare. I was completely stranded, and I woke up 2022. I was like, it's gonna be a new year. Everything's gonna be better. I woke up to someone knocking on my door telling me I better get out of town right now because I'm just getting milked for my money. And then apparently the guy that did that um, tried to do armed robbery and stuff at the mechanic shop once I left for the night. So like I started my new year off in a horrible, horrible way. But the adventures with Rocky, meeting Paula, meeting Nate, meeting all of you guys, building the business up, building my channel up, getting the job at the college, teaching cooking classes. Tomorrow, there's students here that didn't get to go home. They don't get to go home to their families. There's students that are stuck here over Thanksgiving break. And that kind of sucks. I understand that when you don't get to go out and celebrate the holidays with your family. So tomorrow I bought $200 worth of groceries, and we're gonna go do. I'm gonna teach them how to cook a turkey, how to cook a ham, how to cook all these amazing meals. Just do a recap video and a documentary showing how far I've come. My quote: realize your dreams, fulfill your dreams, and be positive. I can't talk. Can you tell I'm tired? Oh, I literally was driving to Rhinelander. It is hour and a half to 2 hour drive. I made it half an hour, and you guys would think as a nomad, I'm used to those. Those are nothing, right? No. I drove half an hour and I was like, I might have to pull over and take a nap in my vehicle because I am exhausted right now. It has been a very, very long 2 days, but it's gonna be worth it. This Vegas trip is gonna be so amazing, and for those who are interested, I talked about it a little bit last night. I don't know how often I'm going to be posting, but I'm going to try to post some shorts. I'm going to try to post some vlog shorts. If you guys do, let me open my website here again. For those who have not seen this, there's actually a membership thing on my website now. It is absolutely free. You could sign up here to be a member, and you guys can see my blog. I might write a blog while I'm there. I'm not really sure, but I'm just living the dream and taking every day to the fullest, taking everything one step at a time here, um, because that's all we really can do. So I am gonna end the stream here now that I've kind of talked about Rocky. Unless you guys have any questions for me, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to comment and I'll answer those before we end the stream tonight. But I just watching Nate's stream tonight talking about everything that happened this year and how thankful he is. I just wanted to share that a little bit too. All you guys are amazing, and it just absolutely people. I had someone today. The fact that I do YouTube, they were like, "Wow, you're going on vacation, but you're never really on vacation." And I'm like, I don't see this as a job. Yeah, the editing can be tiring and kind of a pain at times, admittedly, but I love talking to you guys. I love watching all of your guys' videos. Um, and it's just living my life to the fullest. It's not a job. It's just enjoying life. So I am not seeing any questions, so I will wrap it up here. Great live stream tonight. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I am still learning with these live streams, so trying to keep up. I do have YouTube open, so the reason I keep glancing over here, I have a second monitor, and I could see the comments just a little sooner on this screen than on here. Thank you, Nate, for helping me get this all set up and helping me learn how to do it all. Lucky, I'm still mind boggled by how young you are and still have a good head on your shoulders. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the thing too. Going out, when I first went out to Arizona, I did Route 66 because that was a dream I've had for as long as I can remember. And I've met people that are retired now and just elderly people who are like, "You've done Route 66? I've wanted to do that my entire life. I would love to do that one day." And it's also mind boggling to me that even just like Nate was saying, the skydiving and everything. Over the past 2 years, I've done Route 66. I've skydived. I took Rocky in. It's just absolutely so many big things. So much, actually, so many things have been done that I found my original bucket list the other day. And I'd say about 75% of that bucket list is done. I've had to keep adding things because I've done so many of it now. If you did Route 66, yep, I did go through Amarillo. I did the first year I went through Route 66 and I did kind of stay on the interstate for the most part. But the second one, I really didn't feel like I could properly say I did it all yet. So my second time going out, I stayed on the original Route 66 as much as I could. So every time I could get off the interstate and drive on the old Route 66, that's exactly what I did. And I followed it all the way. What I did is I came from Upper Michigan straight down to Chicago and then followed it all the way down to Lake Havasu. And then from there, we went to Lake Havasu through California about halfway. There's still from about half California to like Santa Monica Pier, but I have been in Los Angeles too. So I practically consider that I have done it all. I've done 98% of the road. Partied at Big Texan RV Park. I'm avoiding Texas and New Mexico at all costs. For someone who says seek discomfort, and I am doing that with this Las Vegas trip, trust me, I am absolutely terrified of some of the things I'm going to be doing. I will not go back to New Mexico, not for a while. I want to get back. I want to see the White Sands because I drove past that. I didn't get a chance. I would love to see that. I would love to see Roswell a little more because I got there late. I spent 2 hours and then slept overnight and had to leave the next morning. Um, I would love to get back there, but yes, Texas and New Mexico scares me. New Mexico was mainly where the problems happened, but Texas is where it started, and it took forever for me to drive through Texas. So I literally was telling people on the phone as I was driving, I'm like, I feel like I've been driving for 4 days through this one state, never ending. They had a live Kiss tribute band at the park next. Ooh, okay. That is awesome. That would be something that I personally would love to see. We watched them zip line from our campsite. That is awesome. I would absolutely love something like that. That is really, really cool. Don't let Texas scare you. I'm scared. I will be a little bit. But the first thing my uncle did too when I got back to Lake Havasu, he said, now that you just lived through a nomad's worst nightmare, do you still want to do this? Without hesitation, I said yes. And he said, I figured you say that, and the fact you did says how much you're meant to be a nomad. Because, yeah, I broke down in those 10 days. Anything that could go wrong did go wrong in the worst possible way. Um, for those who have read the book, they are telling me it's surreal. It seems like a horror movie. I've had people messaging me, "Oh my God, it's amazing that you are alive right now." And in hindsight, yeah, I hate to say it, but it kind of is amazing that am alive right now with everything that happened during those 10 days. But I'll get there eventually. Um, there's a couple things, Texas, New Mexico, I want to see down. Breaking down last year in Texas and getting through it gave me a lot of confidence that things would be okay on the road. Not as bad as your experience though, but while his experience wasn't as bad, That is very well said. It gives you a lot more confidence that things are going to be all right. And personally, I'm not a person who is very religious, really. Personally, I don't mind if people are. I don't have anything against that. That's just personally my beliefs here. And the reason I say that is because even though I'm not religious, as Nate said, things would be okay. I have learned that it's almost like everything is going to work out. You have a great night as well, Tim, and have an amazing Thanksgiving. It's just life has a way. And that's the thing, too, about living the dream. You're going to be nervous, you're going to be scared, but in the end, it's going to work out. White Sands is great, and there's free camping. There's free camping next to it. Okay. That is very, very good to know. Thank you for sharing that. I am going to mark that on my Google Maps because that is something that both me and my uncle want to go to. I drove past it and I was like, what is this? Oh my God, this looks amazing. Like the entire time I'm driving past it. And it piqued my curiosity and I literally went, okay, I got to stop. And then I saw the entrance come up, and it was a giant line of vehicles all the way out to the road I was on. And I was like, nope, I got to keep going because I'm not going to make it to Roswell in time. So that's, that as well. Nate Land Cloud Adventures, the missile testing site. I want to see that as well. See you later, Ron. Thank you for coming in. Have a great Thanksgiving. I did say I was going to end this stream, I think, like 10 minutes ago, but I'm just going with it now. Um, yeah, I don't really have anything set to talk to at this point. I'm just running. I'm just running with it. But yeah, the missile site, I definitely want to see that. My uncle wants to see that. Both of us want to see White Sands. My uncle hasn't been to Roswell. Like I said, I have, but I haven't spent much time there. I would love to go back to Roswell. Definitely want to get back to New Mexico at some point. And as you guys probably know, I'm getting rid of the bus. So um, that's going to be a little bit different. I'm trying to go with just because I know pretty much everybody more or less knows who Land Cloud Adventures is. His setup with the camper and a vehicle, that is what I want. That is what my uncle has. And I love the idea that I could disconnect the camper and run into town quick if I have to run some errands or if I want to bring Rocky out somewhere on a hike. I don't have to pull the camper with me. Driving the bus up, I feel like even if I got it to cool down in the summer in the heat, because that was a big issue. If I got it to cool down and got the glow plugs replaced and everything, it's still it's just driving that thing all around. It was annoying. It really was. And I think a camper absolutely is the way to go now. Okay. Public access. Good to know. I'm going to put that into my Google Maps. Just don't swim in the lake. The fact that you're telling me that, I will make sure Rocky also doesn't swim in the lake because he normally doesn't like water, but I have been training him and he does get better. If that's the case, I might have to. I've always wanted to be Spider-Man. I could go for some superpowers. Here's a question for you guys while we're on that topic. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Just because I'm curious. I've always been curious what people's answers would be. And I think I've come up with a really good one. If I could have one superpower, it would be to take a picture of something and look at the photograph and relive that moment. The same feelings, same everything. just temporarily relive the moment that was captured in the photograph. Ever since I came up with that idea, I that is going to be my answer for that question always. Teleportation. I used to think about that, and some days when I have very long drives, I joke that that would still be nice. But the fact that I do love the travel, I personally no longer am interested in that one. And I can't think of one better than that. Whether it's family or friends or a skydiving or northern lights or something, just looking at that picture and reliving it as though it was the first time all over again, that's something that would just amazing. Good answer, Ron. Good answer. If I had one wish, it would be for 1,000 more wishes. That's thinking outside the box. We know better. We know. I haven't done much live streams personally, but we know how it works. Um, exactly. Getting there is half the fun, as I always like to say. And since I am named after Kobe Bryant, and this is something he always said too, it is not the destination, it is the journey. And traveling, that is absolutely the case. Because don't get me wrong, the destinations can be absolutely breathtaking. But if you make a wrong turn, the people you meet along the way, all of that stuff, all the little things, even like rest areas, scenic stops, all that kind of stuff, that it's the journey, not the destination. I'm gonna have to start tuning in, Ron. You always have the fun. You bring the party. You are the party. Let's see what you say. When you go on Google Maps to the public access, take a look at some of the photos. I'm a little scared now because you said not to swim in the lake. I'm not sure if it's going to be something bad lake wise or if it's going to be breathtaking photos. You got me curious now. Lucky says, I'm old enough that when I heard your name, the first thing that popped into my head was Kobe Bryant. I'm glad you answered that question before I asked. So, fun fact, yes, I am named after Kobe Bryant. And my middle name, I kid you not, I am not making this up because everyone always, the reactions are always the same. My middle name is Bryant. It is exactly, my first name is Kobe, spelt exactly the same. My middle name is Bryant, spelt exactly the same. I was named after Kobe Bryant. And going back, was it 2020 when that accident happened and Kobe passed away? It was actually a very, very weird day for me because I shut my phone off and I was playing records and creating like a 16 by 20 inch painting. So I shut my phone off, and that accident happened with Kobe Bryant in the helicopter. And I didn't hear about it at all because my phone was off, but people were posting all over social media, RIP Kobe. So later in the afternoon, when I finally got my painting done and turned my phone on, I had so many messages. Are you okay? What happened? And everyone just saw RIP Kobe and they thought something happened to me. And then I was kind of laughing about it later on because as we fast forwarded, I'm like, if you guys thought I died, why did you message me? It makes no sense. Uh, that was a very, very weird day for me. That it, the messages, I had one person type like an entire paragraph, like tribute type thing and send it to me. And it was very weird. It was crazy. Um, but yeah, I am named after Kobe Bryant. First and middle name is named after him. Okay, so I have been talking for 45 minutes now. I said I would end the stream 20 minutes ago. We're just rolling with it. Yeah. So, with the new website, the new name, with Rocky, with my travels, with my book, while we're all on right now, we do have like 15 minutes here before an hour. Do you guys have any questions or anything at all for me? You have an hour to fill. That's kind of where I'm like, okay, let's go. We got 14 more minutes. Let's let's figure something out for these last 14 minutes here. Um, do one full hour because we're just on a roll tonight. We are on an absolute roll. What is the answer to life? 42. Always. Always. Or in my case, my personal case, Rocky. That's the answer to my life. There was actually I don't even know. Someone asked me this when I first started college, and I got um super super like oh my god, I can't talk. I'm tired. The fact that we have done 47 minutes is a miracle tonight. Um it was just a very very deep question. I was saying like, or the meaning to life, not the meaning to life. And it was something along these lines. I said the meaning to life is to live your life to the fullest and do whatever makes you happy and improves life overall. And someone's like, well, what exactly do you mean like by that? And I said, well, if you're someone who loves to be like medical, you love medical stuff, maybe you should be a doctor and you should help people. Because as a parent, that question, what is the answer to life? What is the meaning to life? As a parent, it seems like the answer to that question is to raise your kids and create a world that is better for them than when you grew up. So it's kind of like taking that idea and all of us do our own things. So whether that's us doing our YouTube channels and sharing our experiences and inspiring others to get out and see what's out there and get out of their comfort zones, stuff like that, or whether you're a doctor or a teacher or whatever you do, it's making a difference, making a positive difference, going that very deep route. I think that's the answer to life. Okay, let me see. Asking me if I have questions can add badly. I'm a naturally curious person. I could drive you bats. You're forgetting that my job is campus suites manager. My patience is high. Yesterday, it was out the window. It was completely out the window yesterday. But outside of that, my patience is very, very, very high. If you can make it to White Sands, you can sled down the hills. Oh my God. Well, are you hearing this? You can do that. I won't do the second part of it. You can do that. I'll just do the sledding part. I'll do the sledding part. Um, I actually saw some sand dunes in Arizona, California. I think it's on the California side. And I saw that people were sledding and snowboarding and skiing. Like I saw a video recently on this. And I'm like, oh my God, why did I not think about that? That's on my bucket list now. I have to go back to sand dunes and like snowboard or I, specifically, that is specifically snowboard I need to snowboard on sand dunes because I'm from upper Michigan and I hate the snow. So it would just be ironic for me to take a snowboard and sandboard on it. That's on my bucket list now. It is officially on my bucket list. I cannot wait. I'm excited. I always love seeing new places. And that's the thing, too, with these bucket lists. People are always like, you've done so much. You've skydived. You done, like, what are you going to do when your bucket list is done? My bucket list is never, ever going to be done. And I think personally, if you do finish a bucket list, I think you're just crazy. You're not living life to the fullest then because there's so much out there. There's so much to see and do and experience and eat and smell like the flowers. And I don't think if you truly lived every day to the fullest and just got out and lived your best life, I don't think you would ever run out of bucket list ideas, bucket list adventures. I didn't know your job till literally right now. Yep, I am. Since I am back in Upper Michigan, I am at Gogibic Community College. It is a local college here where I was born and raised, and it's actually the college that I graduated from the last 2 years when I was traveling as a nomad. I did my classes online, and I actually graduated, but or this spring. But what I did instead of coming back early to walk in my graduation, I said screw it, and I spent my graduation day hiking Yellowstone. I have always wanted to go to Yellowstone. That's another one. I have always wanted to go to Yellowstone. I went to Yellowstone for the first time and I hiked so much and I did so much, but I missed my college graduation as a result. And let me tell you, I do not regret that at all. Easily the right decision. And especially because of the last 2 years, I'm the first in my family to go to college. I'm the first to graduate. Um, the first to be this kind of like be a nomad and do college classes at the same time. Um, I felt like it was just an amazing thing. I am always adding to my bucket list. At this point, I will have to live, 10 lifetimes. That's the thing. Yes, thank you. I have also written a book. That is another thing I want to do. Yeah, just so much. I'm actually looking at the book right now. That's why I keep looking over this way, but it's too far for me to reach. I can't grab it for you guys. But yes, I have also wrote, edited, and published a book. How the heck can you have graduated from college already? You're not even old enough to be in high school. Yeah. I and that's the another crazy thing. I did college for 4 years actually when it should have only been 2 years. Um Back in 1992 I worked at Canyon Village in Yellowstone for 5 months. I bet that was really awesome. That I was really interested to see the canyon up there because they kind of call it like the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. And when I first went to the Grand Canyon in Arizona, I thought it was going to be overrated. So I was like, whatever, I'll go see it because I have to. I'd be stupid not to, especially while I'm down here. I mean, there's people that want to see it and they never get to. So I went, but I was thinking it's going to be overrated because everyone talks so highly about it, and I stepped out of my vehicle. I walked to the ledge, and I kid you not, my jaw literally dropped open. I couldn't help it. The view was breathtaking. So having that experience at the Grand Canyon in Arizona, when I heard they called that Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, I had to go see it. You want to see some amazing stuff in Yellowstone? Take me with you. I am definitely going to be going back to Yellowstone again someday. I absolutely want to go back because it was absolutely breathtaking and so amazing, and just the nature. It also kind of reminded me of home. Just absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite places I have been. I did write a book. Since you asked, give me 10 seconds here. I'll grab it off this table. Um, I did publish a book. It is called Discomfort, the Key to Your Best Life. And it is basically an autobiography. It is about 60,000 words, about 200 pages. It is just under 200 pages. It has a bunch of pictures, talk and stories about like my travels, Route 66, talking about how I got Rocky, talking about being stranded. I have a chapter completely on being stranded and just all the horrible stuff that happened. And um, I'll just, as Lucky doesn't know, I don't know how many of you do know about the book. I'll read the back here for you guys. Over the past 2 years, I've been traveling the United States and diving deeper and deeper into the life of a nomad. Throughout this time, I've also been writing this autobiography on not only my adventures, but on my past as well, as that is where my story truly begins. Starting in high school, I began to battle severe depression and anxiety. As I graduated and made my way through college, I began to see it only getting worse. As a bisexual, part of the depression was always the idea that I needed to hide that fact about me. When I came out, however, I began to notice how pushing through discomfort can set you free. From Route 66 to Slab City to Yellowstone, there was definitely moments of discomfort. For example, my bus breaking down and leaving me stranded for 10 days all alone in New Mexico. In this book, I dive deep into all the discomfort, telling stories that I've never shared before. The best part is in the grand scheme of things, I'm a nobody. I'm not a big name writer or a big name YouTuber or anything of the sorts. I am just an ordinary guy who pushed through discomfort. I hope by reading this book, anyone who also suffers from depression or anxiety will know they aren't alone, and I hope everyone can ultimately answer the question, if you couldn't feel fear for a day, what would you do? If you couldn't feel fear for a day, what would you do? So that is what my book is all about. The falls are beautiful. I had to go see the falls in Yellowstone. Um Lucky it is on the website Live in the Dream. I do have a digital copy for sale on there if you prefer digital. Otherwise, I do have a hardcover and the paperback copy on Amazon, just under the title Discomfort, the Key to Your Best Life. Personally, I love the paperback copy the best just because I feel like it looks so much like a real book. It looks like a real book. I absolutely love it. Um, but there is a digital copy on both Amazon and my website as well. Depression and anxiety are rough, especially anxiety in certain situations. Absolutely. Especially anxiety when you're all alone and you break down in New Mexico over Christmas and New Year's. Let me tell you. But I have achieved an hour, it looks like. Okay, sweet, perfect. I was wondering about that. I wasn't sure if you were going back to your dad's. I am glad you got my sticker. Um, I do have stickers with the old name on there, so I'll be giving these away here and there. And I do have some charms I'm working on, some necklaces. I don't know if you guys can really see these. It says discomfort is growth. Find your calling. I'm making some necklaces out of that, necklaces out of some fossils. But it looks like we have hit an hour, guys. So I am gonna wrap it up here. I am exactly the same. Lucky. I need physical. I don't like digital. I really want to have one cause right now, but that should just last a couple more weeks. Yeah, it's rough. Depression and anxiety is absolutely rough, as Lucky's saying. Um, and that's something just being a young adult, a lot of people my age deal with that, and I want people to know they're not alone. The number one fear for people my age actually is the fear of failure. And once you get past that fear, you guys have seen on this channel and through Nate and everything, it sets you free. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here officially. We are past an hour, so I'm going to end it here. Have a good night, everyone. Yes, I will look for those photos. Thank you. I do have the Facebook page and the Instagram page, so whatever works best for you guys. And just have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Yes, Lucky. Lucky, if you go to my website, Living the Dream, I do have all my social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff on there. So, as Landcloud and everybody is saying, have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, stay safe. I'll see you guys on the next adventure.